For this purpose, because of the legal reasons, because of the practical reasons, I propose the following resolution. Each executive session of Brigantine City Council shall be recorded. The tape shall immediately be made available to all members of the City Council and the mayor. However, the tape shall only be made available to the public at the time that minutes of the executive session are made available to the public, which shall be as promptly as required by the Open Public Meetings Act. Anything truly confidential, private, or which unnecessarily intrudes on the deliberative process may be edited out of the tape before it is given to the public. As a resident of the 3rd Ward, I'm going to ask that my councilman, Sam Storino, move this resolution.
Excuse me, sir. We have one solicitor in the city who writes our resolutions and our ordinances, and I would ask Tim Maguire if he's to move forward, then I would review it.
Well, first of all, we're in public portion, so I'm not sure about a citizen proposing a resolution in the public portion. It's rather unusual. But thank you for your comments, and we'll take them under advisement.
In what way? You know, this is not something that you're just going to say we're going to do something about it, nothing is done about it. I think that this is very important.
Something doesn't have to be done about it. Public comment means you make comment, we receive it, and then we thank you for your comment. It does not require an action on our part. Thank you for your comment.
Well, what would be the appropriate way for me to get this resolution before you?
Have one of the council members propose it. Then it would be a resolution would come from a member of council, and it would get a second.
Are you saying that never before has someone stood here at public comment and asked for a resolution and it hasn't been put before you for a vote?
Not that I remember someone preparing a resolution. Someone may come forward and say, you know, we'd like to do this or that, and we might, at that point, council might say, I'd like to do a resolution to support whatever that is, but we've never had a citizen give us a resolution to vote on.
Well, then I'm asking that the executive sessions be recorded, and I'm asking my councilman, Mr. Storino, to make that.
I think you got an answer from Mr. Storino. So we need to move forward with the public comment. Are you finished with your remarks?
Well, I'm asking Sam, are you prepared to
Al,
do that?
I've already told you, I consider proposals, anything, resolutions, ordinances that are prepared by our city solicitor, not you, Al. That's it.
Well, are you going to, at the next session of council, consider this and tell us whether or not you're going to propose that resolution?
If this body discusses it and a recommendation is made by our city solicitor, I absolutely would consider it. Until that point, no, Al, I'm not going to consider it.
See,
to bring it up.
You've brought up an idea, and certainly council members are thinking about your idea, but there's no requirement for us to act on your resolution that you've brought here this evening. So thank you for your idea, thank you for your comments, and do you have any further comments? Seeing if you don't, then I'd ask that we move on to the next person in public comment.
Well, I'm asking that you do that.
Can I make a comment?
Thank you.
Yes.
Can I make a comment, Mayor?
Yes, go ahead, Tim.
Yes. Al, I'd be happy to propose that resolution to our city solicitor if Councilman Storino would not. But
surprise, surprise. Go ahead. Tony.
Why does that surprise you?
Oh, come on, Al. Why didn't you just ask Tony in the beginning?
Because I'm asking you to do it.
I have a question for our solicitor. I believe when I had proposed this a motion, I don't believe you were here, Tim, but I want to ask your opinion on how you feel about recording executive sessions. Do you have an opinion on that?
Do you want a legal opinion? Or
no. Well, your personal opinion as a solicitor for this body.
It is up to the council. They can record executive sessions. Clearly, under the law, they do not have to. As a solicitor with over 17 years of experience, my personal opinion is that it is not a good idea. In too many other communities, I've seen information that is very private be leaked to the public. It has led to lawsuits. It has incurred cost to the taxpayers that didn't need to be incurred. And secondly, as far as taping the meeting and releasing the tapes, by law, there are some things that cannot and should not be released literally for years. For example, if you have collective bargaining and there's certain positions taken or strategies, under the law, that doesn't have to be released ever. So my personal opinion, clearly, unequivocally, would be no. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think we should do it.
Well, can I ask one more question? Are you the solicitor and ventnor?
Yes, I am.
And do they record executive sessions?
Yes, they record executive sessions. However, that practice was in place before I became the solicitor. So it's not like I came in and recommended that be done. That's something that's been in practice for a long time.
Have you recommended to them to cease and desist for the obvious reasons that you just quoted?
They haven't, but if they asked me, they haven't asked me, but if they did, I would recommend the exact same thing to them. Yes. And in fact, when I was a solicitor and ventnor prior, this is way back in the late 90s, actually early 90s, excuse me, I did have a conversation with then Mayor Ted Bergman. He asked me the question, I gave him the same answer. I've been very consistent over my many years of practice. Don't think it's a good idea.
But they have
continued to record them. The most disastrous part of the proposal that I heard tonight would be to record executive session minutes and give a copy of the tape to each council member.
I don't want it.
Now, quite frankly, that would
Mayor, that was not what I suggested. I said it should be available to the council.
No, I think you say give a copy of the tape to each council member.
Well,
we can listen to the tape.
Sorry, you might have made a mistake.
What I'm getting at is that
I read and said shall be made available, but if I did say that,
what I'm getting at is to do that would take information that could be sensitive and could in fact cause litigation and increase the chances by 7-fold that information would be released or lost or whatever. But you know, I appreciate your comments, and it's been a debate that is that I'm sure has taken place in the public sector for a number of years. There are a number of these things. For instance, when do you hold public comment? We've had that debate before. How long should public comment be? I mean, these are things that are intrinsically debated within public types of meetings. And my own feeling is what is working well right now. And if our solicitor tells us that we're increasing the chances for litigation could cost the taxpayers more money, I don't see any reason for us to incur that type of cost.
it's actually, as I read the authorities, it actually prevents litigation because you have proof of what happened at the meeting.
Right. Now, and I understand your position.
Yeah.
Thank you. Frank?